Are you having trouble ranking up in twos? Do you often see quick chats like this coming from your teammates? Or worse, you're the one sending them? If you answered yes to either of those questions, then you'll want to pay close attention. I'm going to show you 3 mistakes in twos that are holding you back and what tips you can implement right now to start ranking up. These tips and strategies are based heavily on decision making and positioning, so you don't have to be a mechanical god to start using these strategies. For tip number 1, we're actually going to start with an assumption that a lot of players make without even realizing it. Assuming your teammate will make an outplay or win a 50-50 without reading the play. That's the assumption. Tip number 1 is to observe body language. Here, you can see my opponent whiffs the ball after kickoff and sees that their teammate will be first to the ball. Great, so now we can switch off ball cam and go slurp up that corner boost, right? Wrong. This puts your teammate in a 1v2 situation where if they get dunked or outright beaten to the ball, there's no one back home to defend the net. While moving upfield on an offensive play, you should be constantly observing the movements of your opponents in relation to yourself and your teammate. Doing so will give you a higher percentage chance of predicting the outcome of the play and allow you to better position for it. Here's how you can start implementing the strategy. Start small. Force yourself to read what direction your opponent or opponents are facing while your teammate has the ball. Are they shadowing? Are they out of position if your teammate decides to flick the ball? Or are they charging headlong into a challenge without a second thought or a care in the frickin' world? Like I mentioned earlier, being able to answer these questions quickly and accurately will allow you to better position for the next play. Here, you can see if our opponent would have left ball cam on to observe the play, they would have seen their teammate make a less than ideal touch. After seeing that touch, they should be starting a rotation back to their net, either over these 2 small boost pads or back to their 100 boost, so that by the time their teammate loses possession, they're in a much better position to defend a shot on net with at least 24 to 36 boost. Now we're moving on to the second tip that will get you more wins and eventually rank you up in twos. This one might be hard to swallow for all you plats out there, but it has to be said.
You are not squishy muffins.
You do not have to air dribble flip reset into a backboard musty flick rebound to score a goal. I know that was hard to swallow, so well done if you're still with me. Now you're on your way to becoming the next squishy. Tip number 2 is to take more low 50s. You don't always have to make a crazy outplay to score a goal and ultimately win a game. In fact, in most cases, you should be doing the opposite. Low 50s are a big piece of the puzzle to ranking up in Rocket League. Here are some easy ways to start sending your opponents flying over your head. And it all starts with one of the most basic mechanics in Rocket League: dribbling. Whether you are just pushing the ball on the ground, bounce dribbling, or carrying the ball, this is how you're going to begin to develop your 50-50 skills. Now that you have control of the ball, you can start creating the threat of an outplay. For example, if you're pushing the ball forward, you want to threaten a hook shot by swerving towards the ball once or twice while keeping an eye on the opponent so you can position for the 50 when it comes. While you are bounce dribbling, threaten a touch and flick by just making small touches till the opponent moves in. Then you can get low and control the 50. Threaten a flick by carrying the ball on your head for a moment, then tap the brakes to drop it just when your opponent moves in for the challenge. This tip will take some practice, but once you get the hang of it, you will start to see your rank go up. And just remember, when your opponent moves in for a challenge, just get low, get behind the ball, and most of the time you'll come out in a good position. Finally, we're going to get into the last tip that will get you more wins and rank you up fast. Tip number 3 is looking for bumps and demos while you rotate. Now you might be thinking to yourself, I already know that. Tell me something I don't know. But when you get in the game, you aren't actually executing. Being able to multitask in Rocket League is huge. If you can make a solid rotation back to the net and get a bumper demo in the process, this will put you way ahead of your competition. Now, let's get into some examples. If you find yourself in your opponent's corner with the ball over your head and out of reach, forget the ball. Charge straight at the goalkeeper, stare straight into their soul, and hold down boost. You don't even have to predict their jump. Just driving straight at them will make it very difficult to dodge the demo and position well enough to make a save. Now, all you have to do is rotate out, grab boost, and follow up on what comes next. You're not always going to score immediately using this tip, but that's not the point. It's about pressuring your opponent into a position where they either run out of boost and can't make the save, or they have boost and just crumble under the pressure. But be careful. If you tunnel vision for a demo that's out of reach, it could leave your teammate in a 1v2 and end up backfiring. You could also end up own goaling in epic fashion like I did here if you're not cautious. So choose your spots wisely and don't overcommit for a demo that you don't need.